Kalage Sundarakaram Sadaika Priyadarshanam Ajnananashakam Devam Sadgurum Muralidharam. Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam. Govinda Bhagavata Dharma ki Jai. With the immense blessings of our beloved Guru Maharaj, Maharanyam Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, and by the costless mercy of our beloved Thakurji, starting today, we are going to relish, experience, understand, assimilate, remind ourselves one of the exemplary works, the first among its equals in Madhura Geetam, a simple, sweet necklace of 30 verses with two verses which talks about its greatness, and then 30 verses which shows the path of Dharma in this age of Kali. And it is called Kalidharma Undiyar. We are going to start from today. And Kalidharma Undiyar, we all know what Kali is. Kali is the name of this current age. And Kali actually means conflict. Kali Yugam actually means the age of darkness. And Dharma for the age of darkness, in the meter of an wonderful Tamil poetry called Undhiyaar, is what is Kalidharma Undiyar. Dharma for Kali, sung in the style of Undhiyaar. And generally Undhiyaar is a style which is used for simple conveying of high truths. And we will see each of it. Before we start, first of all, our prostrations to the Kalidharma Undiyar and the one who graced it, our own beloved Guru Maharaj.
Mulari muga malarndu madura kalidaru mama mudinai arulinai undi para. Mulari muga malarndu madura kalidaru mama mudinai arulinai undi para. Muralidhara re aranundi para.
The protection for us is Aran means, we say Aran Manaina. Aran means that which protects, that which has the wonderful walls and a wonderful shield which protects us. And we need this protection because we are living in the most difficult of all times called Kalidharma. We need protection of our Guru Maharaj because in Kali, Ihassanto Vishidanti Modanti Asadavaha, says Bhagavata Mahatmya. In Kali, it appears as if people who are not virtuous, people who employ dubious means seem to flourish. And truthful people, dharmic people seem to suffer. It's not true, but that's the image, that's the mirage which Kali projects. And since we need protection to make sure that we don't get swayed away by that mirage, we need a protection. Who is that protection? Our own Guru Maharaj, who has shown a path for us. And our Guru Maharaj is the protection. And the path he showed in form of Kali Dharmam is our protection. Kali Dharmam is nothing but Bhakti Yoga in form of Nama Sankirtana. We're going to see that. That's why we said Mulari means lotus. Sakshad Narayanasya Mukha Galitam Visena. Bhagavata Dharma has come directly from the lotus lips of Narayanam. And Mulari means a lotus. So Mulari Mukham means the lotus lips or lotus face of our beloved Maharaj. It flowered. It flowered to give us this wonderful nectar, Amrud or Amudu. And that flowering of that lotus is now dripping with Chutam Harikatamratam Mari. That nectar is coming out of that lotus and it is Madhuram. Everything about our satsang is Madhuram. Literally and Porul and Sol, Rendume Madhuram. The word and its meaning both are Madhuram for us. Everything is marked as Madhuram only. The magazine is called Madhura Murali. Our ashram is called Madhurapuri. And our shop is called Madhuram. And half of our children are named as Madhuram, Madhuri, etc. Our Radha Rani is called Madhuri. So Madhuram is there everywhere. Madhuram da. And so we are given a Kalidharma which is Madhuram. And the same Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavan himself says, that is our Pramana. Yetu dharmyam mritamidam yatoktam pariyupasat. Amritam dharmam. And this wonderful dharma which is Amritam, Bhagavan says, as he concludes Bhakti Yoga, that's why we say Dharumam Amudam. It is Dharmamritam. And if we listen to that and we nod our heads to that, or we imbibe a little bit of it, we become very dear to Thakurji. That is the beauty of Kalidharma. Because Kalidharma is what our Bhagavan reveals as Bhakti Yoga. And specific Bhakti in Kali is Nama Bhakti. And the specific Dharma for that is Harinama Kirtanam, hence Madhuram. It is Madhuram because it is sweet. It's not difficult enough. In fact, even listening to the divine name is sweet, says Parikshit. Shrotra Mano Bhiramat Madhuram. And our Swamiji liked the wonderful verses, an Ashtakam given by Vallabhacharya Mahaprabhu. In that he talks about everything about Madhuradipati is Madhuram. Generally, the Madhuradipati is Madhuram or sweet. But here, the Dharma which we follow is as sweet as the goal which is our Thakurji Madhuradipati, because the path which we follow is no different from Bhagavan himself, as Swamiji very beautifully gave this wonderful message for the interfaith on Sunday, that the name and the named are one and the same. That is a unique aspect of Sanatana Dharma, he said. Na? So since Kali Dharma is the divine name, it itself is Madhuram. And of course, where it leads us to is also Madhuram. So, Mulari Mukamalandu Madhura Kalidharuma Mamodinai Arulinai Undhiyaar Muralidhara Reyaran Undhiyaar. Here, the actual salutation, prostration to both our Swamiji and the one which he graced. Amudinai Arulinai. It is always graced. Na? It is not written. It is not presented. It is graced. These words are words of Bhagavan, which originate from the heart of a Mahatma. And whatever comes from Bhagavan, whatever comes from a Mahatma is all grace. So, Amudinai, Arulinai, Arul means grace. Muralidhara Reyaran Undhiyaar. The translation, from whose lotus lips divine has sweetly flowered the path for this age nectarine, unto Sri Muralidhara have we surrendered. And then we will start with our Kalidharma Undiyar. And before that, we need to understand what Dharma is. Dharma is one of the 4 important aspirations or purposes of life called Purushartha. We have 4 Purusharthas, goals worth pursuing. And we call it as Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Highest Purushartha is only Moksha. The grandest Purushartha is only Moksha. Why? The only Purushartha for any spiritual being or human being is only Moksha. And these are other milestones to get to that Moksha. And our Bhagavatam in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto very beautifully explains the role of each of these milestones. What is the role of Kama? What is the role of Artha? What is the role of Dharma? And what is the role of Moksha, which is our grand Purushartha? Purushartha means that which is worth pursuing and that goal which is worth pursuing. And here, our Bhagavatam says, what is Dharma? Why should we do Dharma? We should understand, na? Dharmasya Hyapavargasya Nartho Artha Yopakalpate Ye Nartasya Dharmaikantasya Kamo Labhaya Hismritaha. Dharma is done not for the sake of Artha. Meaning, we don't follow the path of Dharma expecting gains of something of this world like prosperity or abundance or security of this world. Dharma, if you follow, can actually give you that also. But here Bhagavatam says, which is what our Dharma is, this Dharma which Bhagavatam talks about clarifies Dharma so that there is no contamination in that word Dharma. Dharma actually means Dharmasya Hyapavargasya. That Dharma which leads us to Moksha, that Dharma which leads us to liberation is really Dharma. That is the purpose of Dharma. And what is the purpose of wealth or abundance or sense of security financially? That financial security should lead us to actually follow a path of Dharma without any chinta. Why did our Bhagavan give us a body which has no afflictions or ailments? Why has he given us some security in form of at least till 1 year from now on? Food is taken care, clothing is taken care, our roof is taken care. For some of us, the whole life is taken care. Why did Bhagavan create such a security for all of us? So that with that security, with that health, whether it is physical health or financial health or mental health, Bhagavan had actually blocked all obstacles so that we can actually go in the path which we are supposed to be. We need to be humans first. And we being human is the first dharma. That's why Ramayana says, Mahabharata says, Dharmena hina pasubhi samana. If we don't have that dharma, which is humanity to start with, then we are no better than any lower forms of life which does not have the responsibility to be dharmic because it is all instinctive creatures. And so dharma is the actual path for us so that we can attain the highest goal of liberation. Dharmana dharma. That's why dharma is clarified beautifully in Bhagavatam so that people don't get confused. Dharma is not for name. Dharma is not for fame. Dharma is not for any personal interest. It is only for God. Na? Adanaladan we are showing Bhagavata Dharma in the name God, and that's our actual goal or a motto. That when you say dharma, it means dharma is not for name. Dharma is not for fame. Dharma is not for any personal interest. Dharma is a path which leads only to God. So our dharma is no name, no fame, no personal interest, only God. You see? And that's why he has given that wonderful, if you see the logo there, that is what he has given us. Adam Dharma, that's Dharma. So here Bhagavatam says, the one who has done Dharma properly, what is the fruit or the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Na? How do you know somebody is a Dharmatma? Only when Swanishtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. If we do Dharma in such a way that Krishna is happy with it, then that Dharma is genuine Dharma. That is the purpose of Dharma. Dharma Swanishtita Pumsam Visvakshena Katasviyaha. Na Utpadayet Ediratim Shramayeva Hi Kevalam. If the dharma leads us to a satsanga, if the dharma leads us to the higher dharma called Visesha Dharma, called Bhagavata Dharma, which starts by listening to Katha like what we are all doing right now, then we have done our so-called normal dharma properly. So dharma is the means for attaining the one who protects, one who preaches, and one who follows dharma called Bhagavan. Dharmasya Prabhur Achyutaha. Dharmo dharma viduttamaha. So dharma leads us to Krishna or Bhagavan. And so this is going to be Kalidharma Undiyar. This is going to talk about dharma for the current age. And dharma for the current age means that path which is required for the current age, and what is not spoken is so that it leads us to moksha, so that it leads us to realization, so that it leads us to ananda or happiness or Krishna. So that is what dharma means. So the 30 verses is what this Undhiyaar is comprised of, like Tirupavai, like our Undhiyaar written by our Ramana Maharshi. So 30 verses are there. All the 30 verses are going to talk only about the path. It won't talk about the goal, because this is a Dharma Undhiyaar, you see. It is not Bhagavat Anubhava Undhiyaar na vera. This is clearly only Dharma Undhiyaar. It is going to talk only about the paths. And when you have to talk about the paths, then there are a lot of things we have to think about, consider before we go into the paths. You see, first thing people are going to ask when you talk about the path is there a worthwhile goal or not? You have to answer that now. This is the roadmap to where. What if I refuse that destination? So Swamiji, out of his tremendous kripa, out of tremendous kripa, starts from the bottom most. In fact, when you say dharma, you should talk only shastra. Dharmam na vedam, vedam na dharma. Vedo narayana kshalchat swayambhuriti susruma. It is there na. The veda pranito dharma. That which is showed in Vedas is only dharma. So generally when Mahatmas talk dharma, they will start from Vedas only na. But then Vedas are what is called as Raja Samhita or Prabhu Samhita. What does Veda do? Veda Mata will say, do this, don't do this. If you do this, this is what is the reward. If you don't do it, this is what is the punishment which you can avoid. If you do what I told you not to do, this is the punishment. Very simple, cut and dried rules. No, in Tamil we say, do it or don't do it. Like a Raja's ordinance. Veda Mata ordains. Marayin Kutru. It merely tells what needs to be done. You see. And so like a Raja giving an ordinance, which means if you follow the ordinance, if you actually violate the ordinance, you will be punished. Papam punyam. That is dharma and papam punyam. And Veda Mata talks like that, very strict language. But then Veda Mata understood. It also has to talk in a language which can be more friendly. So the same Veda Mata came down in form of Shruti. Shruti is Veda Mata, Smriti and Puranas and Itihasas. It talks a little more friendly. It gives you some examples, gives you a little motivation to follow dharma. It is called Sugrit Samhita. Sugrit, a friend, like a dost. It talks about like Satyam Vada. That's it. Ramayanam, Mahabharatam talks about, see, this Harishchandra, how beautiful his life was, how much he stuck to the truth. Dharmam Chara. Look at Ramachandra Prabhu, Bhagavan himself came down. In spite of all the hurters, did not Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra follow Dharma? Slowly inspiring like a friend. But even that may not be enough for Samna. So there is a third type of Samhita. Samhita na body of knowledge. The third type of Samhita is called Kanta Samhita. Kanta Samhita na enartham, like a wife in the privacy of a conversation with her husband, slowly tries, mayaki, tries to slowly bring that person to bring him to the right path. Konji. By saying, Inga apdiye, Inga avlo nallavarache, Inga avlo vallavarache, Blado solli. And that husband is now little, intoxicated by the sweet words of the wife. So, Seri, maybe I should actually listen to her. You slowly come down because of that lovely, sweet laden, madhura vartai, sweet words of a wife. Adhika Kanta Samhita. All the Mahatmas, Kirtans, our Swamiji's Madhura Geetam, etc. is Kanta Samhita. Kanta Samhita means like an intimate conversation which is interlaced with tremendous love, tremendous intimacy, and hence tremendous influence. And not even like a friend, like a Kanta. Kanta, like a loving wife. Like Kanta Samhita. You see, that is what is Kanta Samhita. And our Kalidharma Undiyar is Kanta Samhita. With sweet words, trying to convince here, trying to show this very beautifully. And that is why it is Madhura Kalidharmam Amudhu. Madhuram. Kanta Samhita Madhuram. Veda Vakyam is truth. Satyam. And Sugrit Samhita is, it will be a little strict and it will also be a little bit like a friend. Kanta Samhita, only love, only prema, only grace. And that is how it slowly takes us here and there to see how simple the path is. See, all this path can you go? Are you fit for all that? Come, this is the path for you. In the very slowly, like an intimate conversation between a wife, a loving wife and an understanding husband is Kanta Samhita. You see, and that is what is Kalidharma Undiyar, a Kanta Samhita. The same dharma shown by Vedas, because Swamiji wanted to make it a Kanta Samhita, there will maybe some people who still have a doubt about Bhagavanu Tarkara. Is there this whole universe run by an entity which is actually the controller? I am reading all these books of so-called science which seems to say everything is an accident, everything is random, everything is a chance. I am an accident, you are an accident, solar system is an accident, sun is an accident, universe is an accident. You see? So we get a little doubt, we should get, otherwise we have not thought about it. So we do get a doubt, and that doubt will be completely eliminated only in the last step. So don't worry if you have doubts. Everybody has doubts until Anubhavam. Vidyate hridaya grantihi, chidyante sarva samshaya, kshiyante chasya karmani, tasmin drishta parayavarenu vartu. Until we see that final truth as an experience. Drishta evatman ishvare, says our Bhagavatam. Until we have Bhagavat Anubhava, doubts will be there. How will Bhagavan give me darshanam? Or a doubt. You see, how will Bhagavan talk to me? There is a doubt. Drishyate shruyate pivadana rendudana drishta shrutabhya. How do I see Bhagavan? Doubt. How do I listen to Bhagavan? Doubt. Is this world really created by Bhagavan? Doubt. So starting from not even Vedas, which is what a Mahatma should do, but the kripa of our Sadguru Maharaj, he is gone even below that. Kalidharma Undiyar. So he is saying, even for those people who may suspect, is there something called divinity at all? Is there a worthwhile goal to reach or not? our Swamiji starts from what is called as Yuktivadam, logic, to at least make us open to a third pramana or third source of knowledge called Vedamata. So he starts from what is called as fundamentals. He starts from our fundamental doubt. Adippadailendu solrom illaya. Right from fundamental he starts. That is why it is kripa, kripadu. Not saying don't doubt. I understand your doubt. But here is a small explanation. If you're open to me, at least be open to the explanation. Don't argue. I'm showing you a way out, but I'm using your own logic to tell you it is possible. Possible. It is, you can't prove God with intellect, because then if you prove God with intellect, intellect will be greater than God. Bhagavan is aprameyan. No doubt. No pramana can catch hold of Bhagavan, especially not Pratyaksham and Anuman. If at all something can show Bhagavan, it has to be only Shastram. So our Bhagavan, our Swamiji is not trying to convince us using logic that there is God. That is not possible fundamentally. He is trying to open our head to accept a possibility. Maybe it is possible. And then you are ready to walk now with that doubt, no problem. But if you close yourself to that possibility, how will a path make sense when you see there is no worthwhile goal at all? That is the reason why our Swamiji very beautifully gives us the essence of this Undhiyaar. And it is the essence of a Shastra verse. 3 Shastra verse ore adila poradha alagal. The 3 Shastric verses talking about the same principle, but with a little difference in each, he has condensed into one verse.
Dhanamam Kritayugatil Velviyum Mazhallombalumam Tretayugatil Dwaparayugatil Pujayam Kaliyugatil Namamondre Podumam Kaliyugatil Namamondre Podumam.
Namam Kritayugatil. We are going to use a little bit of Tamil here and there because the whole work is in Tamil. I know there are a lot of non-Tamils who passionately listen to all our lectures. So please put up with us. But the beauty in each language. Suppose we take Kabir Das Ji's Doha in Hindi, we can go into the loveliness of that language, talk about the simile, metaphor, the usage of grammar there, etc. But in Tamil, since it's one of the most ancient languages, some usages are incredible. You may think it is over-exaggeration, but I don't mind. In at least the last 2 centuries, nothing can come close to the amount of depth and sweetness of Tamil compositions of our Swamiji. I can dare say that. And see the beauty of it. He's saying, Jnana Mam Krita Yugatil. And it is an essence of Puranic verse. Dhyayan Kritehe Yajan Yajnehi Tretayam Dwapare Archayan Yata Apnoti Tata Apnoti Kalau Sankirtya Keshavam. 4 yugas are there. Krita Yugam, Treta Yugam, Dwapara Yugam, Kali Yugam. It's a cycle. We already saw that in Kalidharma, in the Kaliyayim Balikullum, which is Mahamantra Kirtan. So I'm not going into the 4 yugas. Our Swamiji very beautifully models these 4 yugas as the 4 parts of a day. Right from morning, afternoon, evening time, and the night time. Early morning time is suited for dhyanam. The late morning, the afternoon time is suited for activity. So, yaga yajnam, yajan yajnaihi tretaya. Evening time is suited for worship, which is, dwapare archayan, puja. And in the night, it's going to be dark. Lot of ignorance is going to be there. Lot of doubtful activities will happen. Thieves will be going around. Plunderers will be going. Kali will be like that. What we can do only is sit where we are and chant the divine name. So that's the night time of that day, you see. So that's Kali, dark age. And the path for Kali is Nama. So here, the 4 yugas, So here he's saying, Dhyayan Kritehe. The first Krita Yugam, Dhyanam. You see. Krite Yadhyayato Vishnum, Tretayam Yajato Makaihi, Dwapare Parisharyayam Kalo Tad Hari Kirtanat, says Bhagavatam. That in the Krita Yuga, what is the path for Krita Yuga? Dhyanam. Why people are fit for that? And if you are fit, Bhagavan said, do it. Na? If you are fit, why don't you do it? And Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Makaihi Yajan Yagnaihi Tretayam. Priya Tamilakam Velviyum Ajal Vombal. The beauty with Tamil is the Rana. So he used the same Ra there. Velvi means Yajan, Yagnai. Yajnam is Velvi. Ajal Vombalum means, Ajal means Agni. Vombal means worshipping. You see, using our Agni. All worship is done through Agni Bhagavan. Whether it is Agni Hotra or the 40 major Yaga Yajnas, etc. That is for Treta Yuga. And in Dwapara Yuga, Puja, doing the proper Sodasha Upachara Puja with our wonderful deity, doing that puja is for Dwapara Yuga. Kali Yugatil Namam Ondre Poduma. In Kali Yuga, Nama alone is enough. You see. This is the final conclusion of Bhagavata Dharma, which is the final conclusion of essence of Bhagavata Dharma, which was shown by the 9 Yogishwaras in the 11th canto. The 9th Yogishwara called Kala Bhajanarna. He's called Kara Bhajanar. You see. So Kara Bhajanar is saying Kalim sa bhajayanti arya. Kara Bhajanar dana bhajayanti solamudi. Kalim sa bhajayanti arya gunagyaha saravaginaha yatra sankirtane naiva sarvasvarto abhilabhyate. Whatever you want, just by Nama Sankirtana you will get it. Bhashya. Apart from this yuga, if you go to other yugas, if you want to attain something, you need lot of other virtues. Without other strengths, you can't attain anything else with other paths. But for Nama Sankirtana, Tuli Niyamam Nahi Niyamam ka Jisme Bar. Nama Sankirtanena Yeva. Aduthaan inga Namam Ondre Sodar. Pramana. Karabhajana says, Kalim Sabhajayanti Arya Gunagyaha Saravahina. He didn't say everybody in Kali will understand Nam Sankirtana is the path. They won't understand. Only people who are Arya, respectable gentlemen. And Gunagyaha, people who knows to discriminate what is good, what is not good, what is practical, what is impractical, what is worthwhile, what is worthless. Gunagyaha, who understands, discerning people. Sarabhaginaha, who knows how to take the essence in everything. Sarangaiva Sarabhuk. So only these people with these 3 wonderful qualities would actually celebrate the greatness of Kali because of Nama Sankirtana is the path in Kali. So when somebody says Nama won't work, remember they are not Gunagnya, they are not Sarabhagina, they are not Arya at all. Anarya. Arya, not respectable person, not race and all that. Arya means respectable person is Arya. You see? Yatra Sankirtane naiva sarvasvarto abhilabhyate. Whatever you want, abhilabhyate. More than what you even bargain, you will get it. And that is the beauty of these 3 verses. 2 from Bhagavatam, 1 from other Purana. Here, our Swamiji, very beautiful. Dhyana Mam. When you say Mam, Mam na enna arthona, avaru romba periyavaram. Abdina enna arthona, I don't know. That's what I heard. That's what you say, na? When you see something, you won't say, he is a very good artist. You'll say that. Why? Because I've seen him play. I've seen him speak. But if somebody told me, today a great artist is going to come. When he comes in Tamil, he says, he is a great artist. You see, which means, I don't know, I only heard. Our Swamiji said, Kruta Yugatla Dhyanamam. You see, people have said, oh, who has said? Shastram has said. So, of course, I don't deny it. Dhyanamam. I didn't write. Velviyum Ajal Vombalumam. In Treta Yuga, this all only Purana Kalana. So, only from Puranas we can understand all this. So, Puranas say, it seems, for Treta Yuga, Velviyum Ajal Vombalumam. Yajan Yajna, he doing Yajan, doing Yajna and Homa, etc. through our Agni Bhagavan is what was the path in Treta Yuga, says our Shruti. Dwapara Yuga till Puja Yam. In Dwapara Yuga, it seems Puja is the path for Dwapara Yuga. You should say, na Kali Yuga till Namamam Solaliye. Kali Yuga till Namam Podumam Sol. Namam Ondre. Now it is no longer Mam here. It is Anubhavam now. That Nama can actually give whatever we want. So Swamiji is putting underline there saying that we have seen in Kali Yuga, We have personally seen in Kali Yuga, down to the history of great Mahatmas to this day, that Nama can fulfill all our desires. Sankirtane naiva sarvasvartho abhilabhyate. Sarvasvartha. Whatever you desire is fulfilled. So he is saying, Kali Yugatil Namam Ondre. Then people ask, do you have to do something else with Nama? Podumam. No, you don't have to trust me. Our Shastras say Podum. Why? Sankirtane naiva, it is said na kalau nastyeva gadir anyata. It is even more powerful word. Harer namaiva kevalam. Kalau nastyeva gadir anyata. Mama jivanam is also there. Namaiva kevalam. Kevalam, no, alone. Ondre. And there is no other way it is said. Na? So, namam ondre, is it enough? Means podumam. That's what our Shastras say. Podumam. Podumam has a very different flavor here. Whenever somebody does something very adbhutam, somebody does something very wonderful, use the term, na, which means it is a wonder. Acharyam. Ascharya adbhuta rasam. So he is saying, Kali Yugatil Namam Ondre Podumam. The more the Yuga becomes degraded, the path is becoming so easy. Acharya. You see. And Acharyam for many reasons. Kali Yugatil Namam Ondre Podumam. Now only in Kali Yuga, Namam alone is enough. Which means I don't need dhyana to supplement my Nama. I don't need yaga yajna to supplement my Namam. I don't need puja also to supplement my Nama. Why? Alam tirtaihi, alam vrataihi, alam jnana gatalapaihi. All this is not going to help now. Yat palam nasti tapasa na yogena samadhina tat palam lavake samyak kalau kesava kirtanat. It means dhyana mam abdina. Dhyana alone won't get us there. Even in Kruta Yuga, you need Nama along with dhyana to get our palan. And Ajalum, Vambalam alone won't give us the palam because we saw na Vamana Avataram. It is all Yugantaram only na. In that, finally, Mantrada Chantrada Chidram, Bhagavan, only when I tell your names, all the leer lapses and misses when we do all this yaga and yajna can actually be annulled. So you need Nama for Dhyanam. You need Nama for sacrifice. Yajan Yajnehi. We need Nama for Puja. Archanana Namandane. But for Kali Yuga, when we do Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Namam Ondre. What does Namam Ondre Podum na innartham na? Adhu or part. Namam Ondre Podum.
Namam Ondre Podum. Namam Ondre Podume Sadhanamum Namama Sadhyamum Namama Sadhanamum Namama Sadhyamum Namama Samsara Vedane Nike Shanti Nalgidumam Samsara Vedane Nike Shanti Nalgidumam Namam Ondre Podume
Our Swamiji said, Nama alone is sufficient, enough. Why talk unnecessary other things? So he stopped here. Namam Ondre Podumam. But then, what is that Namam Ondre Podume means? Don't think your path is going to be different from your destination. Sadhana is Nama. Sadhya is Nama. Right from Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksham, all the four Purushartham. Yatra Sankirtane Naiva Sarvasvartho Upalabhyate. All the four. Samsara Bhayam Varakyam. Right from Moksha to Dharma, Artha, Kama. Everything Nama alone can give. So Nama Ondre Podum. Podum means alam. You say enough. You don't need anything else. Why? Because that Nama alone will give all that you want. Mannu laga saiga. इस जग की इच्छाएं परलोक की कामनाएं क्षण में करे ही प्रदान ऐसा कीर्तन गाओ रे पौध में alam enough. You see, that is the beauty of Kali Yuga. We have Nama alone is more than enough. He says That is the introductory. It's called Vritam. It summarizes what Kalidharma is in the 30 verses. It is an introductory Vritam to tell about this. Okay, and generally, if you have these 4 yugas, you have the first 2 yuga, which is a little better. Konja satvikam irukum. The last 2 yuga, satvikam is going to be very less or almost zero. And see the beauty in which he has phrased this. In the first yuga, dhyanamam krita yugatil. So the sadhana comes before the time. And second, velviyum ajal om balumam treta yugatil, which means the time won't corrupt people in these 2 yugas. So their sadhana can overcome this vagaries of time. So he put sadhana about time, saying that they will win over time, don't worry. Kalam sir, abdilla solla mattala. Why are you not following your dharma? Kalam sir, first 2 yugas, the kalam or the time was, whether you call it conducive or not, they were able to win over the vagaries of time by their sadhana. So Swamiji carefully, dhyayan kritehe yajan yajnaihi tretayam dvapare archayan. Adhe pattern. First sadhana, dhyanam, dhyayan kritehe. So in the first Krita Yuga, time they were able to control. They'll go into the dhyana, go into samadhi, their sadhana can control time. And where we in Ajal Vombal, Yajal Yajnahi Tretayam. In the Treta Yuga, they were able to follow the rules of Shastras to the dot, to an extent that the rishis can take a small little grass, kurcham, put it there, yamam, avaka, yami, kalam, Martin. Until they say, okay, upasthanam karishen, uttada unde. Those were the powers they had in the first 2. So our Shastras or Sailiye, our Swamiji is following. Dhyayan kritehe. Dhyayan means dhyanam. In Krita Yuga, yajan yajnehi tretayam. In Dwapara Yuga, in Treta Yuga, Dwapare archayan. Yatapnoti tatapnoti kalau sankirtigation. Now the column or the time has become powerful and it will crush our sadhanas. If you try dhyanam, time will crush you. How will it crush now? 1 minute dhyanam we will do. Then we think it's 1 hour. Dipata 65 seconds we are going. So here, dhyanam, in this time, sadhana will be crushed by time. You try to do yajan yajnehi, whoever does it, Mahatmas, we bow down to them. But how can we do it properly? We want sangrahamna. And all these, nobody gives importance to all these Vedic rites also, right? It has become only a formality. And now the one who directs the whole marriage is not Agni Devan, but photography Devan. Konja thalli okaranga sir. Panditare, move a little bit, your work. Our pav ange endu swahandra. Adi enga poi vidumo theriyala. So Dwapara Yuga becomes bigger. Now slowly Tamasam has crept in. And the Satvikam is lost, so the time becomes bigger and the sadhana becomes smaller. Time is trying to eat that sadhana, so they put the yuga's name before the sadhana or the path. But in Kali, Namam Undre, in spite of the vagaries of time, that vagaries of time is also conquered by chanting the divine name. That's why our Swamiji started with Kali Kabi Kare Samhar, Kaliyayum Bali Koldum. That is the beauty of simple versana. You see? So in Kali, Namam Ondre Poduma, says our Swamiji. And the translation, which was translated by Purnimaji, is meditation in the age first, fire sacrifice in the second, pure worship was for the next, divine name suffices in the end. That is Kali Yuga. So this is the beauty of the Vritam. Vritam means an introductory verse to talk about the essence of what we are going to talk about. It is already told there. And the first, our Swamiji himself did an Mangalachar. When our Swamiji started this Kalidharma Undiyar, initially he gave 30 verses. After that, after requests of a Mangalacharanam, he added it later. And this is the Mangalacharanam, which is an incredible Mangalacharanam.
தொழில் புரிந்தும் புரியாதிருக்கும் முதல்வா சரணம் முந்தி பர முத்தொழில் புரிந்தும் புரியாதிருக்கும் முதல்வா சரணம் முந்தி பர முக்திக்கு வித்திடுவாய் உந்தி பர முக்திக்கு வித்திடு
This, as we mentioned earlier, is in a form of what is called as Undhiyaar. Undiparan varudhu, Undhiyaar. It is a very beautiful way of expressing spiritual truths in form of a day-to-day, a village game played by two girls. Which means I'm going to tell the Dharma to even a simple village girl who might not have even started to go to school. So here, that is the beauty. So two girls, they do tatambali, we say, they hold on to each of their hands. The right hand of one girl is holding the right hand of another girl, and the left holds the left, and two legs are close to each other so that they don't slip, and they go round and round and round, and they feel like flying. And they do this little, swirling around. And when they are swirling around, generally, the first two verses are talked by one or sang by one girl there, and the last verse is completed by the other girl. So this girl is telling the other girl, Undipara, and that girl is answering back, Undipara. So in the three lines there, the first line and the second line is sang by the first girl, and like Yugala Geetham, you see, and the last line is sang by the other girl, and Undipara means let us twirl and go round and round, swirl around. Undipara, let us fly that way. Undipara spiritual connotation is take all your effort and fly away with escape velocity from the samsara. Adha Undipara. Oru Undipara oru dam pudichi. Dam enga irukuna, it is there right in our navel, and then our prana starts. Adulend para, you see. And that is why it is called Undipara. And it is a very common way of singing. And many Mahatmas have done many compositions based on this Undipara. The first known, at least to the speaker out here, is Manivasakarna. There was one of the four shy white great Nayanmars, poets, divine poets. And he reintroduced Undhiyaar in the modern history. Evlo simple irukku parunga. வளைந்தது வில்லு விளைந்தது பூசல் உழைந்தன முப்புறம் உந்தி பெற ஒருங்குடன் வெந்தவாறு உந்தி பெற. Simple villuன்றதுல very very colloquial usage of Tamil, so that you talk about very great precepts in a very simple language. That is the beauty of undi para. And then another Nayanmar, following the steps of Manivachakar, he wrote something a little more philosophical. Agalamayyarum arivu arida porul shagalamai vandadendrum deepara tanaga thandadendrum deepara. And then our Ramalinga Vallalar wrote pure philosophy in Undipara. அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி ஆண்டவர் வந்தென் மருள் போக்கினார் என்றுந்தி பெற அபயம் அளித்தான் என்றுந்தி பெற. ராமலிங்க அடிகளார். அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி, தனிப்பெரும் கருணை is his. And then in the recent past, our Sri Ramana Bhagavan wrote 30 verses summarizing the sadhana and the sadhya of Jnana Vichara Padalam, Jnana Vichara, including all the other sadhanas, and how all the other sadhanas finally dovetail into self-realization, because he was a Jnana Margis. He showed the path of Jnanam. So obviously when he shows the path of Jnanam, what generally Mahatmas and great Mahatmas do is, their path, they accept all other paths, but they make their path of their umbrella a little bigger so that everything comes under that umbrella. When a person with Bhakti Sampradaya comes, he will also have a big umbrella, and he will put all the other paths under the umbrella. That's how we admire all and adopt one. If you admire more than one, now we are caught in a quandary, isn't it? We don't know Ingya, Angya. So Mahatmas very beautifully brought in that's the genius of all our Sanatana Dharma Mahatmas. They bring in all the paths under one umbrella, and that big umbrella would be the adopt one umbrella of theirs. And they will dovetail all the other paths into that, so that there is no condemnation. The same thing is with Bhagavata Dharma, that we accept Jnana Marga, we accept Raja Yoga, we accept Bhakti Marga. Everything comes under the big umbrella. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Uchyate, everything becomes one. You see? Likewise, our Ramana Bhagavan wrote a Undhiyaar. Kanmam payantaral kartanadu aanayal karman kadavulo undi para kanmam chadamadal undi para. You see how undi para came over centuries. And our Swamiji has done a great detailed exposition of our Ramana Bhagavan's Upadesa Undiyar, which in Sanskritam is called Upadesa Saram, in Kannada Upadesa Sara, and the same thing. But in Tamil, because it was in Undi per meter, it was called Upadesa Undiyar. And Swamiji had meditated on it and brought out so much rasa and I don't know, he made it a shastra. You see, he brought everything out of that shastra. There is nothing you need to know about sadhana sadhyam if you listen to Upadesa Undiyar of Swamiji. He has brought everything out from that. And that is the beauty of the original text. That is the beauty of the person who talks the text also. And in those lines, our Swamiji has penned this wonderful Undiyar, which talks about Kali Yuga Dharma. So it's called it Kali Dharma Undiyar. It talks about the path, the Dharma for us in Kali. And the path of us in Kali, our Swamiji already has indicated in that initial sloka, Vritam, where he said, Kali Yugatil Nama Mondre Poduma. If we know this now, then we don't have to go through the 30 verses at all. Once we hold on to one word of Guru, it's enough. But then our Swamiji goes right from Adipadai, right from fundamentals to slowly build up and tell us, finally, the conclusion is, if you consider all these things, it is very clear, crystal clear, that in Kali, Nama Sankirtana is the only way out for us. And the beauty with Kalidharma Undiyar is, he didn't anywhere specify which Nama we have to chant. Because there is no Bedam in Nama, our Swamiji did not even point out to a specific deity. Krishna we understand, but let this Kalidharma Undiyar be common to all paths. People who are Shaivas, Shiva Bhaktas can follow Kalidharma Undiyar, understand it, they can relate it to Saivam. Saiva Margatu Ottu. People who are Bhagavatas, Bhagavata Dharmam, it will align. People who are Saktas, Sakta Dharmam, it will align. Ganapatyas, people who do Ganpati worship, it will align. And even for people who are, say, Surya worship, I don't know if they are still there, it will align. And the same with Muruga Bhaktas, it will align. It is a universal Dharma. Dharma has to be universal. So it's a universal Dharma. That's why he says, Kali Yugatil Namam Ondre Pormur Hari Hari Namam Solala. That is separate. That is for our adopt one people. Admire all people also should have to find it Rasomayam. So Swamiji, without even mentioning any specific name, he just brought this entire canvas of our Sanatana Dharma in the 30 verses. This 30 verses has everything about Dharma you can even imagine. It's all there. That is the beauty of these 30 verses.